What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com. Oh, man, we got the Olympia season coming up, man. The Olympia season. And you know what this means. Everybody with a gosh darn YouTube channel is going to clickbait with an Olympia prediction video, which means absolutely nothing because everybody says pretty much the same damn thing. But I'm going to say it. I'd also like to interject who I feel should win based on what they brought last year, and my opinion on why the top 10 or the top 7, because after 7, who really cares? After 4, who really cares? Why I chose who they are, and this is based on who's already qualified, assuming Branch Warren gets in and all those guys based on the points. I went by the current list on MrOlympia.com. So let's go over the list now. I'm not letting my friendships or anything interfere in my picks. This is who I think will win. And then I'll tell you who I think should win based on what I've seen. Now, Phil Heath is going to win the Mr. Olympia. He's going to win it. Why? Because he brought his worst package, I think, possible last year due to whatever reason there was. And Kai Greene brought his best package. Other than that video with the citrus fruit. I had to say it. No, but they both came in polar opposites. I think Kai Greene came in really good. And Phil Heath came in really subpar compared to what he can. And so Phil Heath still beat him. And to unseat the current reigning Mr. Olympia, you have to bring something uber special. And the current Mr. Olympia has to come in totally just terrible. Now, going back to, I believe it was 2001 when Ronnie won the Olympia, and then Gunther Schlerkamp beat him in the GNC Show of Strength. Even though Ronnie probably shouldn't have won the Olympia, and Gunther, I believe, got 5th at the Olympia still awarded that show to Ronnie because he was the reigning Mr. Olympia. Politics, sponsorships, whatever it is, it's really hard to unseat the Mr. Olympia. And I'm going to tell you why number 2 will never win a Mr. Olympia. And you guys probably already guessed it. Kai Greene will take number 2. Because essentially, you are dealing with a 1 and 2 situation. It's kind of like the Republicans and Democrats. It's Kai versus Phil. Kai versus Phil. Kai versus Phil. Unless Kai comes in really messed up and the guy who I am going to pick for 3rd, who I also think should win the entire show, comes in ridiculously ridiculous, and Kai Greene comes in missing a limb, other than his penis. I'm talking about his arms or his legs, or even his nose. If he comes in and something's taken off and he decapitates himself, he might get 3rd. Other than that, it's Kai versus Phil. Phil versus Kai. Such a boring fucking sport that's supposed to be objective, but at the end of the day, subjectivity wins over all, and nobody's going to vote Kai first and Phil second. Like it or not, the grapefruit incident will haunt him forever. That $10,000 that he got for fucking a grapefruit is the reason why his dream of being Mr. Olympia will never be realized. And that's been confirmed for me by people on the inside. They do not want that being their poster boy. Phil is a great Mr. Olympia. And I think Phil has a better shape, better symmetry, and I honestly think Phil's a better bodybuilder than Kai, but I'm just saying why, even if Phil comes in a little off and Kai comes in, Phil has better shape, Phil has better genetics, better insertions, he's not as big, but he has a more pleasing physique. However, you got someone like Kai who's extremely weird. He's not weird, he's a nice guy, but he's extremely weird. I mean, he's just not normal. When you got Phil Heath, who's absolutely great with the camera, who's absolutely just a good-looking dude, you know? Beautiful skin, blue eyes. I mean, he's just a good-looking dude. Former basketball player, can still slam dunk a ball, extremely articulate. I mean, you can't really pick a better Mr. Olympia to represent the sport than one Phil Heath. He's great with fans. He'll stay till the last person leaves at expos. Phil's a great ambassador for the sport. So I don't see that... I don't see them letting that happen. Do I agree with that? Fuck no. I think the best physique should win. I feel Phil has the best physique, but I'm just one dude. It's a panel of judges. But I don't think even if Kai brings his best, he's going to beat Phil. However, I do think number 3 should be Mr. Olympia. He has the best waist on stage. He has the best flow. He comes in the best condition. and he's a great poser, and that is Shawn Rhoden. I believe Shawn should have won last year. If it was based on my preference for bodybuilding, I do believe Phil at his best will beat Shawn any day of the week, but I don't think Phil was at his best, and I think that Shawn brings a consistent, amazing package of fullness, shreddedness, and just utter excellence. That it should honestly be, if I had if Kai's not going to beat Phil for whatever reason, I think Shawn should be no lower than second place at the Mr. Olympia if he brings what he brought last year and the other two bring similar or slightly better than what they brought last year. So I believe Shawn Rhoden should win the whole goddamn thing, but I believe he's going to get third. I want to put Dennis Wolf fourth. Dennis Wolf played the size game before, other than his calves. He has my calves. I can't hate on him for that. Dexter Jackson has no calves either. Dennis James came in. He was the most shredded guy on stage at the Mr. Olympia last year. Unfortunately, he was flat as a pancake, and he had no pop to his muscles. If Dennis James can, and I'm not saying he will, if he can fill out a little bit more and bring that conditioning he brought to stage with the shredded glutes and everything, Dennis Wolf will get number 4. Number 5, Juan Morel. Even though he had the most retarded video ever in the history of bodybuilding with the 20,000 calorie diet that he had in one day, eating the ice cream and everything, and his magical recipe. Oh, you guys got to try this recipe of ice cream and fudge with Oreos on it. That must have taken him at least an hour to figure out how to combine those ingredients. Juan is honestly, what a fucking great bodybuilder. What a fucking great bodybuilder. Juan Morel deserves 5th out of this lineup. And again, if Branch Warren is in this, I think that could be Branch Warren's spot too. Simply because Branch brings graininess and vascularity and just a quality of hard work muscle that Juan and Shawn Rhoden and Juan Morel, they don't train as hard as Branch Warren. And you could tell in the quality and density of the muscle. Branch just genetically lacks the flow, and he lacks the structure of these other gentlemen. And it is what it is. You know, it's like, you know, Branch is like me. He does the best what God gave him, and he's done some really cool shit. But at the end of the day, he's going up against people who are genetically superior. Number 6, I believe Dexter Jackson, because Dexter has looked the same at every show since 1974. Dexter's, I believe, 45 years old. Dexter's going to be 6th. I'm going to go and pick number 7. I was going to stop at 6, but I believe we're going to see a better, bigger, and harder Rolly Winklar, however you pronounce that shit. I believe he's going to come in 7th. I believe he's been missing it. I believe his size, and if he could keep his gut in check, I believe he will be 7th. Based on the, I can't even pronounce these names, is why I only stopped at 7. The other ones on the list right now is Fouad Abiad, Muhammad Ali Banut, William Bonac, Brandon Curry, I believe, with his waist and his structure, top 10 perhaps. Jonathan De La Rosa, another great bodybuilder, I believe can place okay. Mabdou Alsbieh, Abdelaziz Jalali, Dallas McCarver, don't think he has a chance. Essa Obaid, I believe he qualified at the Arnold Amateur as a pro. He's a good bodybuilder. Ronnie Raquel's been competing since 1924. I believe he always brings, same packs he always brings. Fred Smalls, I just don't believe he has the quality to compete or get top 10 at the Olympia. And that's the current list I'm going on, guys. Thanks for watching. Post down below who you think is going to win Mr. Olympia and what you think of, be nice. Don't call me a dick or a Phil Heath. I said fucking Rhoden should have won. If that makes me a Phil Heath dick rider, so be it. Frankly, I told you guys many times, if I'm going to fucking be gay, my first time's going to be with an Asian, not a black man. Okay? Just saying. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'm Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com. Top 10, Mr. Olympia. Who do you think's going to win? Post down below. Because winning the Mr. Olympia, because you haven't had sex with citrus, that's not a game.